In this video, we're talking about no annual fee credit cards so that you're able to get some of the best of the cashback credit cards available in the market, but not have to worry about a fee attached to that and have to keep track of which cards have a fee and how much it is and whether or not you're getting enough value out of the card to keep it open because of the annual fee. First up is the Chase Freedom Unlimited credit card, which actually has a unique feature, which is a 1.5% extra cash back on up to $20,000 spent in the first year. So that could be of great value, and that's why this credit card is gonna be an amazing credit card for the cashback. It also has a $300 introductory cashback offer. Now, the downside of this card is if you're traveling abroad, it is gonna have a 3% foreign transaction fee. That's gonna be a downside of this card if you were wanting to use this card while traveling. It's not gonna be your best fit, and you would wanna consider a different card for that purpose. And number two is the Wells Fargo. It is gonna have an intro offer of $200 cash back. It's also gonna have a $0 annual fee, and you'll earn 2% cashback rewards on all purchases. The downside of this credit card is it's gonna give you only 2% cash back on all your purchases. And so you're able to find other credit cards that will give you better cash back on rotating categories. But the plus of this one is that you don't have to worry about rotating categories. It's going to be consistent. There's no caps for the amount of cash back that you're able to receive. So it's a very simple credit card. Next up is the Discover It credit card, which is going to give you 5% cash back in rotating categories every quarter on up to $500 in purchases. And you will have to activate those categories in order to make sure that they are active on your credit card. Everything else will give you 1% cash back. The plus of this card is within that first year, you're gonna get what's called the Discover Cashback Bonus, which means all of the cashback that you've made in that first year, they're going to double it. The downside of this card is gonna be that you have to keep up with those cashback categories as they're going to be rotating every 3 months, and it's gonna be something that it only gives you 5% cash back in those categories up to $1,500. So if you were spending more money than the $1,500, then this card would be something you may want to use in connection or in tandem with a different credit card in order to be able to get the maximum amount of cash back. Number four is the Citi Custom Cash Card, which is actually going to give you 5% cash back in categories that are specific to your spending on up to $500 in purchases every billing cycle. Now, this is something that it's only $500. That's kind of the downside of this card, but it is something that is going to be specific to you and how you're using the card. So it actually could be a really good card for you to use in connection with other credit cards, but you wouldn't want to necessarily use it all by itself as it's only on up to $500 in purchases. And I know for most of us, we're probably spending more than $500 in purchases on a credit card within any given month. Next up, number five is our Citi Double Cash Card, which is going to give you a no annual fee credit card that has 2% cash on all purchases. And it's going to allow you to not have to worry about any sort of rotating categories or any sort of maximum amount that you can spend on any category to be able to receive that cash back. The downside of the credit card that it's only 2% cash back. There are other credit cards out there that are going to be able to get you more cash back. It's also a downside that you have to have at least $25 built up in cashback rewards before you're able to redeem that cash back. So if you're not spending enough money on the card, say you only had $10 in cash back, and unfortunately you would just not be able to use that cash back rewards until you got to the $25. Number six is the Blue Cash Everyday card from American Express. It's going to give you a $0 annual fee. It's also going to give you $200 cash back introductory offer when you open the credit card. It's also going to have 3% cash back on up to $6,000 spent per year in one is US supermarkets, two is US gas stations, and three is US online retail purchases. Sorry if you don't live in the United States, These are specific to the US. The downside of this credit card is it is going to be capped. It's going to be capped annually instead of some of the other cards that we've mentioned before that were capped every quarter. This is going to be annually, so you're going to have $6,000 to spend in the 3 categories. After that $6,000 is spent, you will no longer be receiving the 3% cash back. You'll just be receiving 1% cash back. So there are other credit cards that are better, and again, you can just use this credit card in connection to some of your other credit cards to give you the best amount of cash back possible. Card number 7 is the Capital One Saver One credit card, which is gonna earn you 3% cash back on dining, grocery stores, and eligible streaming services and entertainment. All other purchases are gonna earn you 1% cash back. It's gonna have an introductory offer of $200 cash back, as well as an annual fee of $0. The cons of this credit card is it only has the 3% cash back in those particular categories. So if you're looking for a card that is more specific in one category or another, let's say travel, or let's say that you want 5% cash back in gas stations, then this card wouldn't necessarily be a right fit for that. However, it is going to be a consistent 3% cash back on gas stations, grocery stores, and eligible streaming services and entertainment. Next up is the Bank of America Ultimate Cashback Rewards credit card. This card is going to have a $0 annual fee. It's also going to have an introductory offer of $200. It's going to give you 1.5% cash back on all purchases, which makes it a very uncomplicated, easy to keep track of reward system for your cashback credit card. The downside of this Bank of America credit card is that there's other cashback credit cards with no annual fees that are going to be able to give you better cashback than this credit card. If you're looking for a starter credit card and one that's easy to keep track of the points that you're able to get back from a credit card, then this Bank of America card could be a great fit for you. Card number 9 is actually another credit card from Bank of America called the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards credit card. Now that is a mouthful. This card offers you 3% cash back in a category that you choose and 2% cash back at grocery stores and wholesale clubs on up to $2,500 per quarter in combined spending in those categories. All other purchases earn 1% cash back. So that is actually a really great reward structure on a credit card that's fairly easy to be able to get approved for as well, and one that's just a good no annual fee credit card to have in your wallet. So the downside of this credit card is that the reward structure for the 3% and the 2% is capped, and it can be a little bit confusing when keeping track of all of that. You may do better with a 1.5% cashback reward structure or a 2% reward structure on a credit card that does not have any caps as compared to this one. And card number 10 is the Chase Freedom Flex credit card. This card's gonna earn you 5% on travel booked through Chase, 3% cashback at restaurants and drugstores, and 1% cashback on all other purchases. New card holders will earn a $200 bonus after you spend $500 in the first 3 months on this card. The downside of this card is, again, keeping up with those rotating categories can get complicated, as well as some of the 5% cashback rotating categories may not be a good fit for every single card holder. So you would want to look into exactly what the rotating categories are and whether or not it's going to be a good fit for you in that particular year and what they're offering. If you found value out of this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. Go ahead and check out this video here where I talk about one of my favorite credit cards. This has been Zach, and I'll see you over here.